Hello, it's Kevin here. Time for another one in our 400 plus OET writing videos. So today I want to show you one of the biggest reasons that candidates stay below 350 in OET writing. It's something I call data dumping, as we'll see. What does that mean? So instead of writing for the reader, they copy information from the case notes into the letter, usually putting all of the case notes into the letter. Professional writing doesn't work like that. Before we even start writing, we need to filter the information through the reader of the requested action. Let's take a look and see what that actually means. So, filter before you write. Data dumping begins before the letter is written. A strong writer first filters the notes through the reader. As I keep saying to all my students, first identify audience and purpose from the notes. Who are you writing to and what do they need? Why are you writing? That's what you've got to do. So step one, audience. As we'll see in this one, we're going to be looking at occupational therapist. What do they need? They need information about function, equipment, safety, and workplace adaptation, as we'll see. Nothing else. Identify the action. Referral requests a specific splint and a workplace specific ergonomics assessment. So let's take a look at the case notes and see. Okay, here's the notes. Let's have a scroll through. The usual OET notes, you can see them here. Tells you the reading time, writing time, today's date, tells you who you are. So go to the task first. Okay. So using the information, given the notes, referral letter, Miss Goody, community occupational therapist for further management of Betty's condition. Okay. So let's have a look. What do we have to do? Again, we're just scrolling through these notes. Now you would do this in the 5 minutes before you actually start writing. You've got your 5 minutes of reading time. So in that reading time, you're not allowed to make any mark or start writing, but this is what you need to do. You have a doctor, a patient complaining of a painful hand. Okay, so let's see what we need. So the job of the therapist is to provide a splint and carry out a workplace assessment. But if we look at these notes, there's quite a lot of stuff that we don't need. Right, quite a lot of stuff here. We don't need this, we don't really need that, we don't need that. There's quite a lot of stuff here that is not going to be relevant to the reader, is it, as such? Yeah. So you can see there's quite a lot of stuff here that the reader does not require. Some things that we definitely do, and we'll see in a moment. So yeah, so we don't need the medication, we don't need the blood test, we don't need the weight loss, the thyroid. Those things belong to other people. So what you can do, again, you can pause this, you can scroll up and down, look at these notes and get the general idea. So let's look at the original letter now. Okay, so here's the learners anonymized, of course, one of my students on italki. Let's look at their original letter. Now here, there's quite a few things. So you can see the color coding, right? For accuracy, grammar, vocab, purpose. But what we're more concerned about today is the yellow shading. This is the data dump. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of stuff here. The name's spelt wrong, grammar, vocab, etc. Again, I'm not going to look at those. The error key is sort of here. Again, if you want to do a complete analysis of this letter yourself, you can pause this video, scroll up and down. You can see all the different things here that you can see. Okay, there's quite a lot of stuff here, but that's for you to look at in your own time. Now, the yellow, the data dump. Okay, we've got on examination, the vital signs was normal. We've got the diet, we've got the leisure activities, we've got the medication, weight loss, the thyroid. None of that helps the occupational therapist provide a wrist splint, nor does it help them to, or tell them what they need to do to carry out a workplace ergonomic assessment. Yeah, so you can see there's quite a lot of stuff here that, from the view of the reader, the audience, part of the audience and purpose, which I mentioned, there's quite a lot of irrelevant stuff here. We don't need all this. This is why it's, as I term it, a data dump. It's simply being dumped into the letter with no clear thought about who is going to be reading this. So you can see some of the problems with that. So let's have a look and do a comparison. We'll look at the original, we'll look at a rebuilt 350 version, and then we'll look at a 400 plus version. Okay, so we haven't changed the patient, we haven't invented new information, we've simply been more selective in the information that matters to this reader. The functional problems are clearer, the work situation is clearer, the purpose is clearer, and also the word count is shorter. The original was about 243, which is a little bit long. So let's just go through this. So these are the steps. Okay, we've already seen step 1 and 2, identify. Keep the evidence for that action, which we'll see. Compress what useful background. So if you do need to mention it, you don't have to go into all the detail as we saw in the original. Compress it. Brief mention, which you will see. Remove all the noise. We don't need the weight loss, the diet, so and so. That's not this reader's immediate task. Okay, now let's see. What must we keep? Reduce grip strength. Why? Direct evidence. Difficulty with gripping shows impact on daily activities. Long supermarket hours, work demands. Explains why that is relevant for the occupation. Cares for elderly parent. Domestic consequences, the positive signs. Okay, but remove. We don't need the high fat, we don't need the meds, we don't need EMG, we don't need it. So, right, so the method in one line, right? For the reader, we just need the required action, the evidence, and remove everything else. So let's take a look. As we saw, this was the original. Yeah. She was this, she did this, her diet's this, her diet's that, and so on. Again, you can pause this and you can have a look and see for yourself what is relevant and what's not. Now, like it says, why it damages it. So there's some useful stuff, right? We can use this, but the data dump, we don't need it. Right? The problem is they're not prioritizing and filtering. So let's have a look, see what we can do with this. So as we've said, we keep the symptoms, the limitations of caregiving, we compress the background into one sentence, remove diet, etc. Let's just have a look. So now you can see here, right? She works as a supermarket manager, her diet, she spends his leisure time, oh dear. A more reader-focused selection, right? Miss Weston works long hours as a supermarket manager and also cares for her elderly parent. So reliable hand function is important at work and at home. And then we've got a single sentence. Her medical history includes type 2 diabetes, hypothyroidism, obesity, arthrosis. What changed? The lifestyle and meds, they disappear because it doesn't help the occupational therapist. The synthesis, we combined it into one sentence and we now see why it matters. Okay, paragraphs better, more usable information, yeah? Like it says, removing low value, so high value becomes easier to see. What does that look like in practice? Let's have a look. Okay, so this is our 350 reconstructed style. Again, I'm not going to read it all. I'll just put it on the screen. You can pause it and read it for yourself. But you can see it's definitely shorter and it's a lot easier. Writing to refer, diagnosed, she wants a splint, workplace assessment, the details, the history, the sleep, reduced function. Okay, why is it important? And what do you want me to do about it? Okay, again, you can pause, you can go back, compare this to the original, and you can see for yourself. Okay, why is it better? As I said, only information connected to function, occupation, and the request remains. For the reader, they don't have to search for all this unrelated stuff before they get to the point. So, purpose, evidence, context, request. And it's 56 words. Let's have a look. Now, 400 plus. Now, this is a little bit better. It doesn't restore, it organizes it a little more precisely. Again, this is a key, precisely. For 400 plus, which I know sometimes some of you need, you don't just need the 350 pass, you need that 400, you need to be more precise. This is the same in the speaking, but that's for another video or podcast. Let's have a look at this. Again, I'll pause it. You can pause it. You can go back, compare the original, the 350, and this 400 version. So we can see more precision. Assessment of functional impairment caused by right-sided carpal tunnel syndrome. Provision of a splint, advice on workplace and domestic adaptations. That's pretty good. Precision, like I say, you can go back, scroll back, and just compare all of the three. During the past 3 weeks, developed numbness and tingling affecting the right thumb. Index, blah, 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 blah. Her grip deteriorated. So, why is that important? Main carer, safe hand function, particularly important. So, can you see the precision? Can you see the difference? And I'll scroll up and down so you can have a look. But again, you can pause it and have a scroll yourself. So, the clinical paragraph is organized what you can't do. The evidence is integrated. Selective. The action is exact. Okay, so I think that's pretty clear what we've got to do if we compare them. Okay, so word count goes down. More concise. More notes transferred. Obvious irrelevance removed. Only evidence that helps them act. Purpose. Okay, that's general. Splint. Okay, but that one's a lot more specific. As you can see from the 400, a lot more specific and precise. Precision. Simply follows the notes. Logical. Information organized by functional priority. Yeah. So in the first one, the reader's searching around. What do you want me to do? In the 350, it's easy, but in the 400, it's immediately apparent what you want them to do. So I hope you can see why or what is the difference between a fail, a 350 and a 400 plus. So this is what you've got to think about. This is before you even start writing. Who is the reader? What must they do? Which notes are the evidence that prove what you want them to do? Which background genuinely affect the decision? What can be left out? So 400 plus is not the letter that contains the most information. It gives the right information to the right reader for the right purpose. Okay, hope that helps. So, like I said, what you can do, you can scroll through, you can pause, compare the 400, do a screenshot if you like for comparison. You can look at the 350 version, compare that, and then compare the original. So, I hope that helps. I hope that gives you something to think about in that 5 minutes before you start writing. This is what you need to be doing, need to be thinking of. Okay, well, so that's the end of this video for today. Hopefully I'll be making more in the future. If you need anything, link in the description. You can contact me, book a class on italki if you need help with writing. And also, if if you need help with the speaking. So check link in the description. If you need to contact me, feel free to do so anytime, and we'll see what we can do to help you to pass OET. And if you need 400 plus, we can definitely help with that. Okay, hope that helps. See you next time.